People are always scared to start new businesses because the failure rate is so high. Over 20% of small businesses fail within the first year. And if you're in one of these next 5 businesses I'm going to talk about, then the failure rate can be as high as 90%, 80% within the first year. And that's the last type of business you want to be starting in 2024. So I'm going to explain the business, I'm going to break down exactly why they're failing and maybe how to do it in a better way so that it doesn't fail for you. And then I'm going to talk about some good businesses that have very low failure rates. So you can consider starting one of those in 2024 if you want to start a business. Now the first one is restaurants. And this is one of those businesses that a lot of people want to start because they're probably good at cooking food or for whatever reason want to have somewhere that sells food. And it's actually scary how high the failure rate is. After the first year, 60% chance of failing in this business. And after 5 years, 80% chance of failing in this business. So this is definitely not an easy industry to go into. Now, obviously there's successful restaurants out there, but it requires one thing, and it's a lot of freaking money. If you're someone that wants to start a restaurant, but you don't have a ton of money or you don't have access to a lot of money, well then you should consider starting a food truck instead, because a food truck is gonna be a lower capital investment and it gives you the ability to move around so that you can go to where the customers are at, right? You can go to a farmer's market, you can go to events and festivals and somewhere where people are going to eat your food. All right, now the second one is probably gonna surprise you because you've seen it all over the place, but it's drop shipping and FBA. And there's some crazy stats about after the first year, only 10 to 20% of these businesses actually survive and they're making at least $100,000 a year in revenue. So why is that? If so many people are pushing this out to you and saying,
hey, you should start a drop shipping store,
why is the failure rate so freaking high? Okay, well, number one, it is an easy business to start. Drop shipping is the idea of grabbing a product that somebody is already made and basically connecting that supplier with the customer that you want to sell it to. So you don't actually have to buy the inventory and hold it in your house. You can have it shipped directly from the place to them. So it sounds simple. And at one point, this was a great business, but because it was so easy to start, a ton of people started doing it. And now you have a ton of competition. So your whole business is based around selling the perfect product at the perfect price so that if you do pick a product that is not the perfect one, or if your prices start getting run down because so many people are selling the same thing, now you find yourself in a position where you're not making really any profit. And I've seen this all too many times, and that's what makes this business not the best one to start in 2024. Now, that's not to say that online e-commerce doesn't work, because there is a lot of people making a lot of money selling great products online. But is drop shipping or FBA the best way to do it? Probably not, because the failure rate is so high for a reason. So if you do want to sell something online, you should consider doing something more private labeling, right? Actually grabbing a product and putting your own label and your own brand around it so that it's not so fickle, right? You can stand out and have a unique product that people are not going to run your prices down on. And the last thing is, because it's easy to start, people assume that it's easy to run. And I think a lot of people get into this business thinking, oh, I'm just gonna have $10,000 in passive income coming into me with doing no work. And that's just not the reality of it. When people find out they have to do a lot of work, then they inevitably shut down their business. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people fail in this type of business. Now the third one is retail stores. And again, similar to restaurants, this is gonna be very high capital to start up because you have a physical brick and mortar location and you have to actually buy the inventory, put it in the place, and all of this is gonna require a lot of capital. Going back to selling e-commerce, selling things online, you're competing with those people, because people are still buying all these same products online. So now you're having to compete with someone that can ship it to the customer in a couple days and probably have a more competitive price, because they don't have to pay for a big retail space and they don't have to pay for all these extra things that come with having a retail space, like the floor employees and all that other stuff. So the retail failure rates are also very high within the first year, within the first 5 years, and that's why it's not the best business to start in 2024, in a time where so many people are buying things online. All right, now the fourth one it also may surprise you because you've seen a lot of people telling you, hey, start an ATM business. It's simple. You buy an ATM, you put it in a good spot, and you just come by and collect the cash. Passive income, that's what they told you, right? But the thing about ATMs is that, I mean, let's be logical here. How many people are actually carrying cash around in their wallet every day? Not me, and not a lot of other people. So the ATM business as a whole is going down. And on top of that, when you buy an ATM machine on average, they try to tell you that you can make your investment back within 6 months, but on average it's closer to 2 to 3 years. So this passive income that you're making, that you're having to drive around and physically collect, is actually not passive because you're just trying to make your investment back for the first couple years. That's what makes the ATM business not a good business to start in 2024. Just don't do it. And the last one is multi-level marketing. So this one, you know, they tell you you're like a salesperson, but you're also your own business, and they have you buy their product and sell it to people, and they sell you this dream of you being able to make a ton of money doing it. But the reality is these companies are making money on you buying their product, not the customers at the end of the day. You are their customer. And what happens is people will buy a lot of the product and not be able to sell it because of whatever reason, and now they're down in the dumps, thousands of dollars. And this whole model is, you know, based around selling the people the dream of, hey, you can have this passive income, you can do this and do that. And that's probably why it has such a high failure rate, because they're, you know, going after people that want to make money the easy way. And that's kind of like one of the common themes around this video is in 2024, people want to make money the easy way. They want it to be passive. And the reality is business is hard. And there's businesses that are harder than others. So it's important to know that going into business if it's your first time. Now, I don't want you leaving this video feeling all sad and gloomy and depressed and feeling like business is just really hard and you can't make money doing it. So I'm gonna give you some good businesses to start in 2024 that I've seen that can actually make you money, and you don't need all the experience in the world to do. So the main idea here that I wanna pass along to you is good service-based businesses that are simple to run and have recurring revenue. So there's a couple examples of this, right? You can do house cleaning, you can do landscaping, you can do bookkeeping, and the list goes on, right? Just think of a service-based business that is simple and it has recurring revenue. Because if you have these components, you're not competing with an Apple or some huge company that's taking all the market share like Amazon. You're competing with the other small businesses in your town that are also doing house cleaning. That makes it an easy market to get into, and it's simple because who doesn't understand house cleaning, right? You show up to the house, you clean the house, you collect the money. It really is that simple. And it doesn't require a ton of startup costs. So all those factors together make it a good business to start, especially in 2024, because if you haven't heard, you can actually run one of these businesses remotely. I know that because we do it this way, and we teach hundreds of other people to do it this way, especially in house cleaning, where you can hire contractors, you can hire house cleaners that already have the equipment, already know how to do the jobs, to show up to the customer's house, do the job, and then you collect the money. If you have a simple service business that has recurring revenue, you're off to the races with a business that has a lower than average failure rate, right? All business is gonna have some type of failure rate, but it's about picking the business that's gonna work for you, that is gonna have the highest chance of success. If you guys have any questions around any of these businesses, make sure to leave a comment down below. We'll answer them, and then make sure to check out this video right here where we break down how to start one of these businesses from scratch if you're interested. So that's the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.